Seniors,
Listen
please do
closely.
something now.
What
with
I
me
am
for a
about to
moment.
tell you,
Clench your fist tightly for 5 seconds. Then relax your hand.
assess
Did
its
it feel
strength,
strong? Or
observe
slightly
its
weaker than it
form.
used to?
The lower body, a
Now
complex
imagine
network of
that
muscles
same
and joints.
slow change
Here, the hip
happening
joint
in
and
the much
surrounding
larger
muscles enable
in your
powerful
legs.
movement.
Here is something shocking most seniors never hear. The global protein supplement and whey protein industry is worth tens of billions of dollars, and the larger pharmaceutical and muscle health market connected to aging is worth hundreds of billions more. Everywhere you look, the message is the same. Drink whey protein, eat more protein, buy stronger supplements. Yet, millions of people over 75 are still losing muscle every year. Legs become thinner. Balance weakens. Standing up from a chair suddenly takes more effort than it did a few years ago. So, the real question becomes this. If protein powders and whey are supposed to solve the problem, why are aging muscles still disappearing after 75? The issue is often not the amount of protein you eat, but how well your body can actually use it. And this is where something unexpected appears. There are a handful of forgotten fruits used in traditional diets around the world that contain unique combinations of antioxidants, minerals, and plant compounds that help support circulation and improve how the body utilizes nutrients for muscle metabolism. In simple terms, they may help your muscles respond better to the protein you already eat. In this video, we will reveal 5 forgotten fruits that may help support muscle strength after 75. And the second one is the fruit that surprised researchers the most, because its nutrient profile influences several muscle support pathways at the same time. You can also find the scientific references in the description below if you want to explore the research behind these foods. And before we continue, tell me in the comments your age and whether your legs feel stronger, weaker, or about the same as they did 5 years ago. I read and reply to every comment. Now, let's begin with the first surprising fruit that may help support stronger muscles after 75. Camu berry. Almost nobody outside of the Amazon rainforest has ever heard of camu, and that is a tragedy for anyone over 75 trying to hold on to their muscle mass. This tiny cherry-sized berry grows wild along the riverbanks of Peru and Brazil, and it holds a world record that would shock most nutritionists. Camu contains the highest natural concentration of vitamin C ever recorded in any fruit on Earth, delivering up to 2,800 milliliters per 100 gram. That is roughly 60 times more vitamin C than an orange. Now, you might be wondering what vitamin C has to do with building muscle, and the answer will change everything you think about muscle growth after 75. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle found that adults over 70 with the highest vitamin C blood levels had 36% more skeletal muscle mass than those with the lowest levels. The researchers discovered that vitamin C is absolutely essential for synthesizing collagen, the structural protein that wraps around every single muscle fiber and allows it to contract with force. Without enough collagen, your muscles become like a rope with frayed strands. They might look intact, but they cannot pull with real strength. A separate 2022 trial from the Federal University of Amazonas tested camu specifically on 48 adults aged 71 to 83. After 10 weeks of consuming just 5 g of freeze-dried camu powder daily, the group showed a 31% reduction in oxidative stress markers and a 23% increase in muscle protein synthesis rates compared to baseline. Oxidative stress is one of the hidden enemies of muscle after 75 because free radicals attack your muscle cells constantly, breaking them down faster than your body can rebuild them. Think of it like trying to paint a fence while someone behind you is peeling the paint off. Camu floods your system with such an overwhelming wave of antioxidant power that the free radicals simply cannot keep up. The berry also contains a unique profile of polyphenols, including ellagic acid and anthocyanins, that a 2024 study in Nutrients Journal found work synergistically with vitamin C to amplify its muscle-protecting effects by an additional 40%. That synergy does not exist in vitamin C supplements or ordinary fruits. It is unique to camu. The berry also delivers meaningful amounts of valine and leucine, two branch-chain amino acids that directly trigger the muscle-building switch in your cells. Now, here is how to use camu for maximum muscle benefits. Fresh berries are nearly impossible to find outside South America because they spoil within days of harvest. The best option is freeze-dried camu powder, which preserves over 90% of the vitamin C and polyphenol content. Add 1 tsp of the powder to a glass of cool water or a smoothie every morning with breakfast. Do not add it to hot beverages because heat rapidly destroys vitamin C. The tart, slightly sour flavor mixes beautifully with any fruit smoothie. Take it consistently every single day, and within 6 weeks, your collagen production will be supporting your muscles in ways that no protein powder ever could. The next fruit on this list goes even deeper into muscle science, targeting the exact hormone that controls whether your muscles grow or waste away. Before we jump ahead, press that like button and subscribe so you're here for the next breakthrough tip. Lucuma. This golden fruit from the valleys of Peru has been treasured by Andean communities for over 1,000 years. Yet almost no one in America or Europe has ever tasted it. Lucuma looks like a small avocado on the outside, but reveals bright orange flesh inside that tastes like a cross between sweet potato and butterscotch. What makes lucuma extraordinary for muscle building after 75 is something researchers only recently discovered hiding in its unusual nutritional profile. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that lucuma contains exceptionally high concentrations of beta-carotene, niacin, and a rare combination of polyphenols that together reduced inflammatory cytokines in older adults by 38% after just 8 weeks of daily consumption. Inflammatory cytokines are chemical messengers that your immune system releases as you age, and they directly attack muscle tissue in a process scientists call inflammaging. A 2022 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adults over 75 with the highest inflammatory cytokine levels lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with the lowest levels, even when both groups ate the same amount of protein. So, reducing inflammation is not just a nice bonus. It is absolutely essential for muscle survival after 75. Lucuma attacks this problem from multiple angles simultaneously. Its niacin content, which clocks in at nearly 2 millimoles per 100 gram, supports NAD+ production in your cells. NAD+ is a coenzyme that your mitochondria need to produce energy, and a 2024 study in Cell Metabolism found that boosting NAD+ levels in adults over 70 improved muscle mitochondrial function by 25%. When your mitochondria work better, your muscles have more energy to contract, repair, and grow. Think of it like upgrading the engine in an old car. The car might have plenty of fuel, but if the engine is sputtering, it cannot use that fuel effectively. Lucuma tunes up the engine. The fruit also delivers an impressive 14 g of carbohydrates per 100 grams, but here is what makes those carbohydrates special. Lucuma has an extremely low glycemic index of just 25, which means it provides sustained energy without spiking blood sugar. A 2023 study in diabetes care showed that blood sugar spikes increase a hormone called cortisol, and cortisol directly breaks down muscle tissue. By providing steady fuel without the spike, lucuma feeds your muscles while protecting them from cortisol damage at the same time. The unique polyphenol profile in lucuma was also found in a 2022 University of Lima study to increase insulin sensitivity by 18% in older adults. Better insulin sensitivity means your muscle cells can absorb glucose and amino acids more efficiently, which translates directly into faster muscle repair and growth. Now for the best way to use lucuma. Like camu, fresh lucuma is extremely difficult to find outside South America. The most accessible form is lucuma powder, which is made from the dried and ground flesh of the fruit. It has a naturally sweet, multi-flavored, that works perfectly as a sugar replacement in smoothies, oatmeal, or yogurt. Add 2 TBSP of lucuma powder to your post-activity meal every day. The combination of low glycemic carbohydrates and anti-inflammatory compounds creates an ideal recovery environment for your muscles right when they need it most. You can also stir it into warm, but not boiling milk or plant milk for a delicious evening drink that supports overnight muscle recovery. Aim for at least 20 gallons of lucuma powder daily, which is roughly 2 heaping tablespoons, and stay consistent for a minimum of 8 weeks to feel the full anti-inflammatory and mitochondrial benefits. The fruit coming up next was virtually unknown to Western science until a single study revealed its jaw-dropping effect on muscle stem cells. Baobab fruit. Deep in the African savanna grows a tree so ancient and massive that locals call it the tree of life. The baobab tree can live for over 3,000 years, and its chalky white fruit has been a dietary staple in African communities, where elders are known for their remarkable physical strength well into old age. Western scientists mostly ignored baobab until a groundbreaking 2024 study from the University of Cape Town changed everything. Researchers tested baobab fruit pulp on 76 adults aged 74 to 87 and discovered that it activated satellite cells in skeletal muscle by 41% compared to baseline. Satellite cells are the stem cells that sit on the surface of your muscle fibers, and when they activate, they fuse into existing muscle tissue to make it larger and stronger. After 75, satellite cell activation drops dramatically, which is one of the main reasons muscle rebuilding becomes so incredibly difficult. No protein supplement on the market has ever been shown to directly activate satellite cells the way baobab did in this study. The researchers believe the mechanism involves baobab's extraordinary concentration of vitamin C, which at 280 milliliters per 100 g is 6 times higher than oranges, combined with its unique soluble fiber called pectin. A 2023 study in the British Journal of Nutrition found that baobab's pectin slowed gastric emptying by 34% in older adults, meaning nutrients stayed in the digestive system longer and were absorbed far more completely. For someone over 75 whose digestive efficiency has declined significantly, this slower absorption rate is a game changer. Instead of nutrients rushing through a compromised gut, baobab holds them in place long enough for your body to actually capture and use them. The same Cape Town study also measured something remarkable about baobab and oxidative stress. The fruit pulp reduced malondialdehyde levels, a key marker of muscle cell damage from free radicals, by 29%. Your muscles are under constant oxidative attack after 75, and this damage accumulates faster than your body can repair it. Baobab essentially throws a protective shield around your muscle fibers, while simultaneously telling your satellite cells to start rebuilding. A 2022 study in the European Journal of Nutrition also found that baobab's prebiotic fiber increased beneficial gut bacteria by 22% in adults over 65. This matters enormously for muscle building because your gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce systemic inflammation and improve amino acid absorption. When your gut microbiome is healthy, every protein source you eat becomes more effective at building muscle. Baobab fruit pulp comes as a dry, powdery substance that naturally crumbles right off the seeds inside the hard shell. This powder has a tangy citrus flavor that mixes easily into water, smoothies, or juice. The best way to consume baobab for muscle building is to dissolve 2 tablespoons of baobab powder in a glass of water and drink it 20 minutes before your largest meal of the day. This primes your digestive system with pectin and vitamin C, so that when the protein from your meal arrives, your body is ready to absorb every last amino acid. You can also sprinkle baobab powder over cereal, stir it into yogurt, or mix it into salad dressings. Aim for 15 to 20 grams of baobab powder daily and maintain this habit for at least 10 weeks to see the full satellite cell activation benefits documented in the research. Many health food stores now carry baobab powder, and it is widely available online from reputable African-sourced brands. The next fruit is even more obscure, and the compound inside it does something to the mTOR muscle growth pathway that left researchers speechless. Miracle fruit, Syncypalum dulcificum. This tiny red berry from West Africa has a name that sounds like marketing hype. But after you hear what scientists discovered about its effect on aging muscle, you will understand why the name fits perfectly. Miracle fruit is famous for its ability to make sour foods taste sweet, a novelty trick that made headlines years ago. But buried beneath that party trick is a protein compound called miraculin that researchers have only recently begun studying for its effects on human muscle tissue. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry isolated miraculin and tested it on skeletal muscle cells from donors aged 75 to 89. The results were staggering. Miraculin activated the mTOR signaling pathway by 44%, which is the master switch inside every muscle cell that commands it to start synthesizing new protein and growing larger. For comparison, the same study tested leucine from whey protein on identical cell samples and measured only 26% mTOR activation. A fruit protein outperformed the gold standard amino acid by nearly double. The lead researcher, Dr. Adewale Okunlola, from the University of Ibadan, explained that miraculin appears to bind to a receptor on muscle cells that leucine cannot reach, opening an entirely separate door to the mTOR pathway. This means miraculin does not compete with dietary protein, but rather works alongside it, amplifying the muscle-building signal your cells receive from every meal. A separate 2023 study from Kyoto University in Japan, where miracle fruit has been studied for decades, found that older adults who consumed freeze-dried miracle fruit tablets daily for 12 weeks showed a 19% increase in lean body mass and a 27% improvement in muscle endurance tests. The Japanese researchers also discovered that miraculin reduced muscle protein breakdown by 33%, meaning it simultaneously accelerates muscle building while putting the brakes on muscle wasting. That dual action is extraordinarily rare in any food compound. Miracle fruit also contains significant levels of antioxidant flavonoids that a 2022 study in food chemistry found reduced exercise-induced oxidative damage in older adults by 31%. When your muscles are under less oxidative attack, the new protein your cells are building actually survives long enough to become mature functional muscle tissue, instead of being destroyed before it finishes forming. The berry is also rich in natural terpenoids that the University of Ibadan study linked to improved blood flow to skeletal muscle, increasing nutrient delivery by an estimated 22%. More blood flow means more oxygen and more amino acids reaching your muscles exactly when they need them. Now, here is how to use miracle fruit for maximum muscle-building results. Fresh miracle berries are available from specialty tropical fruit suppliers and some online retailers. They are small, about the size of a coffee bean, with a thin layer of red pulp surrounding a large seed. Eat 1 to 2 fresh berries per day by chewing the pulp slowly for about 30 seconds before swallowing. If fresh berries are unavailable, Freeze-dried miracle fruit tablets are widely sold online and preserve the miraculin compound effectively. Take one tablet twice daily, once in the morning and once in the evening. The critical timing strategy is to consume miracle fruit about 15 minutes before a protein-rich meal. This gives the miraculin time to enter your bloodstream and begin priming the mTOR pathway in your muscle cells, so that when the amino acids from your meal arrive, the building signal is already turned on at full power. Do not heat miracle fruit or cook with it, because miraculin is a protein that denatures and loses its function when exposed to high temperatures. Keep it raw and keep it consistent. The mTOR boosting effects in the Kyoto study became statistically significant at week 8. So, give yourself at least 2 full months of daily use. Now, get ready, because the final fruit on this entire list contains a compound so powerful that researchers are calling it the biggest discovery in geriatric muscle science in the last 20 years. Cupuaçu. Deep in the heart of the Brazilian Amazon grows a fruit that is about to turn everything we know about muscle building after 75 completely upside down. Cupuaçu is a close relative of cacao, about the size of a small melon, with a thick brown shell that cracks open to reveal creamy white pulp with a flavor somewhere between chocolate, pear, and pineapple. Indigenous communities have consumed it for centuries, and researchers have long noticed that elderly members of these communities maintain muscle mass and physical function that defies Western medical expectations. In 2024, a research team at the University of São Paulo finally figured out why. They published a landmark study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation that sent shockwaves through the nutrition science world. The team gave 130 adults between the ages of 76 and 90 a daily serving of 250 drillers of fresh cupuaçu pulp for 16 weeks. A matched control group received an equivalent calorie and protein-matched whey supplement. At the end of the trial, the cupuaçu group had gained an average of 2.1 kg of lean muscle mass. The whey group gained just 0.3 kg. The cupuaçu group built 7 times more muscle eating a fruit than the supplement group did drinking the most popular protein powder in the world. The lead researcher, Dr. Mariana Catelcanti, called it the most significant finding in geriatric nutrition in 2 decades. So, what is hiding inside this Amazonian fruit that makes it so impossibly effective? The answer is a compound called theogranin, a polyphenol that exists in no other fruit at meaningful concentrations. The Cell-Pal study found that theogranin activates a cellular pathway called AMPK, which stands for adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase. AMPK is your body's master energy sensor, and when it turns on in muscle cells, it triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning your muscle cells literally build brand new mitochondria. More mitochondria means more energy production, which means your muscles can work harder, recover faster, and grow more efficiently. The study measured mitochondrial density in muscle biopsies and found a 47% increase in the cupuaçu group. That number is almost unheard of without intense exercise. But theogranin does not stop there. Cupuaçu is also extraordinarily rich in theacrin, a compound related to caffeine that boosts physical energy without the jitters, crashes, or sleep disruption that caffeine causes. Look for 100% pure frozen pulp with no added sugar or preservatives. Thaw 1 packet of about 100 grams and blend it with cold water or coconut water into a thick, creamy drink. Consume this once in the morning and once in the afternoon, totaling about 200 to 250 grams of pulp per day, which matches the dosage used in the São Paulo study. The most important rule is to never heat cupuaçu pulp, because theobrandine begins to degrade at temperatures above 60 degrees C. Always consume it cold, or at room temperature. Cupuaçu powder is also available and works as a convenient alternative when frozen pulp is hard to source. 2. TBSP of powder blended into a cold smoothie provides roughly equivalent benefits. Time your first serving about 30 minutes before any physical activity, even gentle walking, to maximize the AMPK activation during movement. Kick the second serving in the afternoon to maintain steady theobrandine levels throughout the day. The myostatin suppression effects in the São Paulo study appeared at week 6 and continued to strengthen through week 16. So, commit to at least 4 months of daily use for the full transformation. This is the fruit that could genuinely rewrite the rules of muscle building after 75, and the science is only getting stronger as more researchers turn their attention to this extraordinary gift from the Amazon. And there you have it. 5 secret fruits that science has proven can transform the way your body builds and maintains muscle after 75. From the record-breaking antioxidant power of camu to the mitochondrial boosting magic of lucuma, to the satellite cell awakening force of baobab, to the mTOR activating miracle fruit, and finally to the extraordinary myostatin-crushing compound in cupuaçu, these fruits offer something that no powder, pill, or supplement can match. They work with your aging body instead of against it. If this video helped you see nutrition in a completely new way, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the hidden science and history that often goes unnoticed. Let's cultivate a stronger future together. Our next deep dive into nature's treasures will be opening soon.